bestbookbits.com brings you the book summary of Living Forward, a proven plan to stop drifting and get the life you want by Michael Hyatt and Daniel Harkavy. Each of us has but one life to live on this earth. What we do with it is our choice. Are we drifting through it as spectators, reacting to our circumstances when necessary and wondering just how we got to this point anyway? Or are we directing it, maximizing the joy and potential of every day, living with a purpose or mission in mind? Too many of us are doing the former, and our lives are slipping away one day at a time. But what if we treated life like the gift that it is? What if we lived each day as though it were part of a bigger picture, a plan? That's what New York Times bestselling author Michael Hyatt and executive coach Daniel Harkavy shows us how to do. To design a life with the end in mind, determining in advance the outcomes we desire and the path to get there. In this step-by-step guide, they share proven principles that help readers create a simple but effective life plan so that they can get from where they are now to where they really want to be in every area of life. On with the book summary. Chapter 1, Commanding Your Own Life. It requires a life plan. Visualize yourself on a surfboard, ahead on the floating waves. You're looking for that special moment that you've longed for while taking your time under the sun and with the pleasant breeze. But suddenly, you look back and see there is a riptide entailing you. Oaring against the flow in the vein, it has more power and throws you about anywhere you don't want to be. Generally speaking, this riptide that entails you symbolizes life. You feel unsettled, fatigued, and lost when you turned 40 or 50. Neither our health nor our relationships are going well. Now we're consumed. There is a huge difference between the current life we live and the one we once imagined. It is hard to understand how we've rolled so far. The living conditions that surround you indeed have a detrimental role in how remote you are from your dream life. It is not always possible to change the circumstances, but still, you can manage your reactions to them and find an effective way of tackling obstacles. Possibly you are already aware of it. Living close to a fast food restaurant and working too much does not make you obligated to always eat fast food, but you always postpone focusing on your eating habits. I can't eat healthy under this stress. I'll do it after the deadline. That's what you say repeatedly to yourself. That deadline passes, but nothing changes. You come up with another reason to delay changing your diet. Maybe you think sometimes that some conditions can't be controlled, but that's not true. You think eating takeout is a must for you because you have to work until late, so you don't have the time to do proper shopping and to cook. These assumptions mislead you into supposing that your life is out of your command. But the reality is different. You can seize control over your life again. You need nothing but a life plan. A life plan. Making a life plan is being responsible for your life. With the assistance of this plan, you can deliberately make your own decisions that take you to wherever you want to be. It will function as a reference point that makes you stay safe from drifting unconsciously by the flow. Remarkably, will also make you resistant irrelevant influences that take you away from your dream life. Chapter 2, thanks to your life plan, you will recognize your priorities, your goals, and put an agenda to realize them. GPS is a wonderful device that leads you to new sides. Moreover, it offers new routes when you're lost, never judges you or complains. Don't you think it would be great if controlling life was as simple? However, life is not as simple as navigating between two determined points. Life is full of unpredictable developments. In this journey of living, some routes emerge suddenly, where some get blocked unexpectedly. In such cases, you need to be careful about what changes around you to reevaluate your destination and strategy accordingly. Life plan serves exactly at this point. We usually plan material elements of our life such as our career, exercises, and financial situations. On the other hand, we rarely consider the other issues such as relationships, productivity, spirituality, etc. More remarkably, our plans have almost no crossing points. We perceive them as independent fragments that have no impact on one another. In reality, we have a brilliant career at the cost of our health and family life, or we stay in good form, but our relations weaken as we spend the hours at the gym to look well. Both authors have once lived this worrisome imbalance in their career paths, so they modeled life plans as a means to assess each component of their lives in the light of their concerns. How about being more accurate? What does a life plan include? It is simply an 8 to 15 page long document that describes your ultimate life. Once you have such visualization, you can recognize your own main goals and sketch an action plan to actualize them. Your priorities might change over time, as well as your life plan does. You can freely review or change it any time you want. Its power is behind this liveliness. Your life plan will always guide you into rethinking where you want to be and how you reach there, just like a GPS device. Therefore, you reroute your journey if needed. There are 3 important points that are worth keeping in mind when you make your life plan. We'll issue them over the following pages. Chapter 3. The way you see your legacy will draw your life plan. You better start with the end while making your life plan. Which legacy will be left from you? That's the first question you need to answer. Maybe you think only notable figures like Martin Luther King or Abraham Lincoln leave a legacy behind them, but that's not true. Each of us bequeaths something, so will you. Your legacy signifies how your community will remember you after your death. In the frame of your life plan, your legacy is where you'll end up. To imagine your legacy, you need to raise difficult questions to yourself. When will you pass away from this world? And what will people say after you? So it could be rough. Still, remember, it is a must to recognize your life goals, just like planning a trip. First of all, you should consider respectively your destination and the way that you'll use to reach there. The destination represents your legacy, and the route that you use to get there is your life plan. To bolster your imagination on your legacy, think about what people might say about your life when you are on your deathbed. Record your farewell speech. Hide nothing about you, neither your imperfections nor your strengths. In this way, you can know which parts of your life work on track and which ones require attention. Ask yourself further questions. Who would be at your funeral? What would their feelings be? Would they remember the same things about you? Would those memories be profound and affectionate? Or would they be superficial and cold? After all, how you're feeling, how different are those you've imagined? This consideration helps you to understand the missing part of your life. After writing your eulogy, now it's time to prepare your legacy statements, following how you want them to remember you. These statements could address the people you value in your life, like your family, friends, and colleagues. Keep in mind that you should use a moving and specific tone of language while creating them. For example, if you're writing to your husband, you could say, "I hope Charlie will remember our shared moments with full of tears or laughter." Take your time to make these statements eloquent for you. They'll remind you what you find most valuable in your life. Chapter 4. Decide what comes first for you by assessing your life accounts. You have 52 Saturdays every year. It doesn't seem too many. Furthermore, let's sync your business, your endless run, and your stress consume half of them. Then it turns out that you have a little time to do whatever makes you happy. We generally allocate huge parts of our lives to actualize other expectations. It is challenging to stay determined to our own priorities by turning a deaf ear to others' calls. If you're not truly determined on your main goals, it appears even more problematic. You can realize that getting away from your life goals only when you know them precisely. For that reason, as a part of your life plan, it's essential to ask what matters most to you in life. Maybe you find it easy to answer the question of what matters most to you. However, you have to ignore what they expect from your life and contemplate painstakingly what you really want to find a genuine response to it. Exercising your life accounts is your means of doing this. Your life accounts design every detail of your life, from your leisure time activities to your valuable affairs. They have basically three main chapters. Being, that concerns your intellectual, spiritual, and physical state. Relating, your relationships or your social group you belong to. And doing, issues your business, economic affairs, hobbies, and interest. As soon as your life accounts are ready, decide 5 to 12 of them as your priorities. Name them specifically. Use Reese, for example, by getting inspired by the name of your partner or the name of your work account, such as teaching. Different accounts might be under the same category. For example, discrete accounts for your partner, your children, and other relatives would be classified within the relating. A further step is to check the well-being of these accounts. Are they all in good health, or is there any account that needs more care? Write down what suits each. After you've finished checking the process, order them accordingly to their level of importance. Now, make a comparison between this list and the previous one, which shows their health. This tells the truth about your time management, whether you spend your time doing things that are important to you or simply not. Let's think of the solution in which your business is the healthiest on the list and you value your family more than your business. Then it would be wise if you were busy with your loved ones on Saturday. There is no need to consume these precious moments by controlling your emails coming from your colleagues or your boss. Just a quick plug on Best Book Bits Coaching and Consulting. We'll get back to the summary. If you've been thinking about starting or growing a YouTube channel or a podcast show, writing your first book, or creating your first course, I consult and coach content creators all around the world to monetize their passions and expertise with their creative dreams. Book a free consult and coaching session with me using the link in the description to find out more how we can work together so we can start making you money now online. Back with the summary. Chapter 5, map your actions to realize your life plan. Living is like being a country race that you run without having a roadmap. Even if you know your final point that you should end up ultimately, you have no concrete ideas about which route you should take. At any moment, you might get confused on the way. When you set your route according to what others say before carefully assessing whether they correspond to your dreams or not, you usually turn in the wrong direction. Occasionally, you might get confused when you encounter new opportunities. Indeed, taking a promotion is irresistibly exciting, but will it necessarily bring you the life you've imagined? To stay loyal to your life plan, you need to ask one more life plan question. In which way will I reach my ideal final point? Look at your life accounts to find a proper way that takes you to your destination. Examine every account and prepare statements concerning what you have to do for them. You might record the account of your spouse that your duty as a partner is to always love and support her. A further step is writing another statement that portrays what your accounts might be in the scenario where you pay them enough attention. Regarding your fitness, you can write, I'm strong, I'm in good health and lively. Think about where you stand right now. Are your statements about to be real soon? Tell only the truths. Hide nothing from yourself. Assess which accounts you've failed, which of them you've succeeded. Finally, you can prepare your action plans. In another, say, draw the map that makes you reach your planned final points. They should be detailed, flawlessly put in a timetable accessible. So when you feel you fall apart from your goals regarding your fitness, you could start making regular exercises and change your diet. You might think that it's not possible to realize each plan you have. Don't worry. In the following chapters, we'll examine the way of managing the time to actualize your action plans. Chapter 6, prepare your life plan by devoting a full day within the following 2 weeks. Imagine you stand close to a lake. Something strange that has just happened in front of you. Imagine you've seen a chest that contains $3 million has just been thrown into the water. This treasure will be yours if you're able to reach it. Even though there is a rowboat that you can use, it's too heavy to carry up without help. Maybe you could use demand help from a friend. However, it might be late. If you don't want to lose it, you have to hurry up as the flow is throwing it away. Well, how do you act? To decide, writing a life plan resembles quietly this situation. A quick motion could bring you a significant fortune, but if you delay, you'll never find yourself doing it again, so you'll lose your dream life forever. In order to create a suitable life plan, you need to be in good connection with your sentiments. Devote a full day to complete your life plan so that you can look into the depths of your soul. If you don't spend enough time doing it, you can't connect properly to your heart. As a consequence, your plan will be lacking power, and each time you delay doing it, your enthusiasm will reduce. Your better move now at the earliest opportunity. Take 2 weeks as your deadline. Do it. Promise yourself to do a full day long and be very strict to keep it unless an unexpected situation arises. Arrange whatever requirements, an off day from your work or childcare, for example. As you'll be doing it all day long, be sure that people who are depending on you could manage in your absence, so you will be able to be perfectly focused on writing your life plan. In addition to the day, you should also find a calm place where no one can interrupt you. It's better to be in a new atmosphere away from the usual places. As long as the stimulating any place such as a hotel room would suit, except the local library in your neighborhood. When the special day arrives, put all your other concerns aside and try to inscribe 5 to 10 pages. Be sure they respond to the 3 life plan questions. There is no need to be excellent, no one but you will read them. The key points of that day are believing the process, listening to your heart, and entering your own genuine world. Chapter 7, be in charge of your time management to actualize your life plan. In one episode of I Love Lucy, a TV series, Lucy works in a candy factory where she was responsible for covering chocolates. But she can't reach the speed of the conveyor belt, so she fails to wrap all of them in time. To escape from getting fired, she finds a solution that is hiding uncovered chocolates under her clothes. Life is sometimes as fast as Lucy's conveyor belt, and the demands of life are like those chocolates. Just after a demand passes, another arrives. Impossible to reach all of them, life asks endlessly more than you can cope with and makes you stunned. Just like other normal people, you get overwhelmed with what your family, your work, your friends expect from you. So it is possible to sort all of it out and still be able to bring your action plan into life. By using these following 3 ways, you can use your time properly and pursue your action plans. To do this, you should first pretend as a triage officer when you're setting your agenda. Consider whether your appointments suit your life account goals. Leave the ones that you are irrelevant to your life goals out. If needed, rearrange unessential things so you can give yourself enough space to do whatever matters most to you. Secondly, prepare an alternative timetable which includes only the appointments that are truly important for you. Let every activity that you need in order to actualize your life accounts be scheduled in it, like family time, social events, business affairs, fitness, spirituality, etc. Then consider the ideal schedule while planning your real life timetable. Finally, learn to reuse the demands that don't serve your priorities in life. It could be enormously difficult if you're afraid to disappoint people. But if you keep doing these things that are irrelevant to your own life goals and let that riptide throw you, in the end, you'll make yourself disappointed. Never forget that each no that you say to other people means a yes to yourself. Remember, you should pursue the route which is led by your own choices. Chapter 8, Life Plan works only if you get it in the motion. Michael Hyatt, the co-author of the book, used to work at a well-developing company which required a serious strategic plan. The managers of the company left for 3-day-long seclusion under the counsel of an external mentor. This resulted in a notable success. After some sparkling discussions, they made a full-fledged plan that covered all the necessary actions and the accountabilities. However, after the process has ended, nobody looked at the plan. This could have been very helpful if it had been implemented or rearranged. Instead, it was forgotten in the library. Consequently, all these exciting ideas stayed on the paper, and they served absolutely nothing to the interest of the company. Your life plan is alive. It needs to be paid attention to, like all other living creatures. Paying attention means regular analysis that makes your plan will always suitable, while day to day when getting closer to your life goals. To avoid making your life plan useless, just like the forgotten strategic plan of that company, you should embrace it strongly. Reading your plan aloud each day in the following 3 months could help you with it. In this way, your life plan will settle permanently inside of you. After 3 months, reserve only 15 to 20 minutes per week to revisit your plan. Use these reviewing times to assess your programs. As long as you do it regularly, you'll stay in the direction of your time, so you'll be able to make necessary arrangements on your priorities. Meticulously examine your plan every 3 months. Read the whole plan and then determine 5 to 7 objects for the next period. Think about what arrangements should be made. It is possible to get lost on the route and fall apart from the goals in a period, but there is always a chance to make necessary adjustments that existing conditions require. Finally, reassess your plan annually. Devote a full day to evaluate how much you've proceeded. Think about what possible reasons for the changes in your main goals last year and decide what you envision to succeed in the upcoming year. Nothing is more valuable than your life. Nothing is more valuable than your life. And your life plan provides you with enjoying it at most. It can serve you better to reach your dreams when you pay more attention to it. And that's wrap on this book summary. Living Forward. If you want the PDF copy of this summary, click the link below to download this. We at Best Book Bits have done 1,000 book summaries, so subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a video. Follow us on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and just a quick plug again, Best Book Bits. We do coaching and consulting, so if you are a wannabe content creator and either thinking about starting or growing a YouTube channel or a podcast show, writing your first book or creating your first course, I consult and coach content creators all around the world to monetize their passion and creative dreams. So book in a free consult with me using the link in the description to find out how we can work together and start making money online now. Also do personal development coaching too. So if you are into personal development and want to level up your life to the next level, click on the same link and we'll have a chat. Thanks for watching and listening. Have yourself an amazing day.